This is a Hot Pie Media original.
Fascinating question. I find it fascinating. Of the pandemic boom business stories, I don't know how many different times we've all played the game. Which one did you think had the greater or greatest staying power? Which one now has the greatest staying power? Of course, we had pandemic companies. We had reopening companies. Then we went back to pandemic companies and back to reopening companies, and we go back and forth pretty often. And if you look at Zoom and Peloton, those were just amazing. I mean, I'm not saying they're not brilliant companies. I mean, the concept, which is not new. I think my brilliant friend Gary Hoover came up with this a long, long time ago. The Apple idea, many others. I need to get you in here, the digital storefront, and I need to stay here. And you spend your money here. And I just keep giving you different stuff. I mean, Peloton found a way to do that and benefited from a pandemic. Stay at home, got to work out. Zoom, I mean, was just I just can't imagine what life was like. It was a small staff of Zoom. Next thing you know, business goes up, 10,000%. Everybody's making money. Demand is through the roof. So I just think those are the ultimate pandemic stories, business stories. And then which one has the staying power? I mean, I think Zoom, just because I think sooner or later you're going to want to spend more time. I don't know how much of going back to the office we ever really get. I don't know about ever, but let's just say a range of 5 years. I do think for people that want to exercise, I think eventually you either want to go outside or you're going to want to go to a club or you're going to do something else. I just don't think the idea of working out inside is going to stay forever. Doesn't mean that that it's not here to stay, Peloton and the concept. I don't think it's going to be here to stay like it was then. Zoom might be, but that's up for debate. I don't know the answer to that. I think they're two fascinating stories. Okay, use that as, that's kind of a sidebar to the real issue. They're just fascinating companies. They're fascinating how they became hugely successful. It's fascinating how they try to maintain that success. For Peloton, it was keeping up with demand. They couldn't. Then we go to, I believe it was 12:01 this morning. It started. You think about this, you can't prepare for this in corporate communications, or maybe you can. It's not exactly something you're trained, at one point you're trained in corporate and crisis communications to deal with. There's a lot of stuff that can happen that you're trained to deal with in crisis communications. Particularly if you're a publicly traded company, crisis communications matters a lot. I think, just in terms of crisis communications, and we can debate this, I don't know if there was a better way for Peloton to handle this. There's stuff that happens. People fall off bikes and dies. They malfunction, the price point. There's a lot of stuff you have to deal with where your messaging really, really matters. There's stuff that's your fault. And then there's something like this that is not at all your fault.
The more I live, the more I find that if you have good friends in your corner, anything's possible.
Carrie, party of three?
Put your favorite heels on.
The future is unwritten because we're all at different stages of life.
Tonight, bring your A game.
How many dating apps are you on?
I'm just waiting for someone to create a dating site that's called Here's the Man You've Been Searching for, Seema.
This is X, Y, and me. What about you, Carrie? Have you ever masturbated in a public place?
Not since Barney's closed. Oh, honey, I'm home.
I remember when you kept your sweaters in the stove.
There are always going to be roads not taken.
So you can't have it all?
No, you can. It's just really hard.
change.
And just like that, after all the years and all the changes, you're still you. Hello, lovers.
All right, well, Jeff, what, Jeff? Sex in the City? Yeah. Yep. Couldn't see this one coming. Jeff, do you know anything about Sex in the City? Not one freaking thing. None. Zero. I got nothing. I know it's successful, and I also now know what I read. And what I read is pretty amazing. Pretty tough to come to the office and go, I'm sorry, what's happening right now? Why are we freaking out? Oh, Sex in the City aired last night at 12:01, and our stock went down 12%. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Wow. I don't know if this is, as a lover of business trends, and that's the most interesting thing to me. I could care less about the show. It's not made for me. I get that it's unbelievably successful. I think HBO and HBO Max, it's just been a remarkable run. I think The Sopranos taught us everything about media, and I mean media as in content matters, content makes money. So I'm all for the creativity. This is bizarre. The show aired at 12:01. Yeah, Peloton took a beating. Why Peloton, Jeff? Well, Mr. Big died. That's why. In fact, in the trailer, first time I've ever seen the trailer, to be honest, but I'm going to act like I know what I'm talking about. In the trailer, he's on his Peloton, and therein lies the problem. This is nuts. How do you respond? Like I said, I don't think you can prepare yourself and should prepare yourself in the business communications. What you say to the market and how you respond to the market matters. That's okay. There's no way in the middle of the night you were prepared for this guy having a heart attack on his Peloton and your stock going down immediately 12%. John McClellan is the co-founder and creator of ATX Hot Sauce, now in all 50 states and several retail outlets as well. So what we're going to do today is we're going to let this social media rock star chef walk us through 4 different sauces, and then I'll taste and we'll tell everyone why they should buy. You can give the science behind these, and then I'll make the simple recommendation. Go to atxhotsauce.com. All right,
I don't think anybody's heard the website.
Yeah, I know.
You, Jeff,
I've never heard that.
It is atxhotsauce.com.
I'll say
I got that one right.
45 times, atxhotsauce.com. So let's do it.
I brought 4 flavors here, and we're going to test your palate today. Okay. And I only brought 4 because I didn't think you could handle 5 or 6.
Yes,
probably a smart move. Yeah. And so the first one we're going to try here, it's called Beet Heat. And just like the name implies, it has beets in it. It's made with red Fresno peppers. Red Fresnos are red peppers that are they're hotter than a jalapeno and a little bit less than a serrano. So not super hot here, just a lot of really good flavor. So we're going to start with this one, and then we're going to move up the chain.
Okay. I've had the Beet Heat, but okay.
Yeah, we're going to try it though.
It goes well with a cab. All right, Jeff's savoring Beet Heat.
I'll even do it with you, so that should be all right. Now remember, it is hot sauce.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's hot sauce. Trust me, man.
Wait, is that one hot to you?
No. A little.
Yeah. The great thing with the fermentation process is you get a bunch of the flavor right up front. Yeah. And then the heat comes, but then it dissipates pretty quickly, especially with the red Fresnos. You know, this is not a very spicy one, but it is a very tasty one. Goes on great on sandwiches.
Beet Heat.
Beet Heat. B-E-E-T. Heat.
All right. Go to atxhotsauce.com.
That's right.
I don't know what to make of it. So here's the deal. I don't think they could have handled it any better. I really don't. I mean, their answers are as good as you can. I tell you one weird part of this is the fact that Peloton was aware of this episode. And I don't know if I'm doing a spoiler or not. Too bad. I don't know what to say. I mean, I thought it was kind of common knowledge now. I mean, it seems like one of the biggest stories of the day. Here's the deal. The company did know that one of its bikes would be featured in the episode, but the company did not know that Mr. Big would die. Wait, why did they know this? Why? Product placement, I'm guessing, which is smart, which is very smart. Well, I had a teaching assistant one time, and I thought she was onto something huge. She was becoming an expert on the trends and the data that go with product placement in video games. This is a few years ahead of the curve. I said, you don't need to be hanging around me. Go, get out there. Go. You're valuable. All right, so the stock went down almost 12%. I don't know where it's trading right now. Oof. So, yeah. He's on the bike, doing 45 minutes on the bike, Mr. Big. That is Carrie's boyfriend. Okay? This is episode 1. Now, the stock has been falling for some time. But then again, there's no way it could have, the pandemic, there's no way it could have stayed at the same level because times are different, hopefully. The pandemic drove it up. It drove up demand. It drove up the stock price. So he's 45 minutes on the bike. And then he's going to shower. And I guess based on the trailer, he talks about his workouts on the Peloton. Again, I think it's probably product placement, which is fine. So then he grabs his shoulder and has a heart attack. And in the narration, it says something, she narrates something like, just like that, Big died. Just like that, stock goes down 12%. Why? I don't know. I got to lean on you. Why? I mean, is this make you more concerned? Obviously, somebody reacted. That's a pretty painful day. I got to tell you, financially, that's rough. A stock dip, particularly in this market. I mean, you need to realize this market is hot. I know the Trumpies would tell you otherwise, but they don't even know what they're talking about. This market is unbelievably hot. It's so unbelievably hot, that's why inflation is up. It is one of the hottest economic periods of our lifetime. And that's saying a lot in the past couple of years. So a 12% dip going the opposite direction of the market itself is a painful day. That one stings. And I've known, I'm sure somebody is, you probably either had it, got lucky enough to have it yourself. I had a friend that was in the fitness business that early on got in a Peloton. I probably thought, whatever. And then I ran into her drinking wine and we laughed. Just laughed. Oh, I can't believe what's happened. Well, today it's down 12%. I don't think it's a coincidence that the show airs at 12:01. He dies not long into the episode and the stock goes down 12%. So how do you respond? They say they didn't know he was going to die. If not, you've done a remarkable job of trying to respond. And here's the deal. Wow. The scene left fans reeling with Mr. Big, a longtime love interest of Carrie Bradshaw, that's Sarah Jessica Parker. I don't know if any man has ever watched the show, and I don't know that they should. I don't blame you for not. I've never seen it. I get that it's super successful. I get that he's a big deal. The company did not know that one of its bikes would be featured in the episode, but did not know, because they knew, but did not know that Mr. Big would die. Peloton has since issued a statement through cardiologist Dr. Susan Steinbaum. They're ready. Doc, wake up. Please wake up, Doc. The stock is tanking. You got to say something. So they turned to this cardiologist. She works for Peloton. All right. So then I thought it was a pretty brilliant try. I don't know that it's going to matter. And this is probably what your cardiologist would tell you too. Hey, listen, it took longer for you to die because you were exercising. You would have died a long time ago if you didn't get in shape. That's exactly what she said. All right, so towards the end of the episode, he gets a ride in. While he is cycling, his beloved wife, Carrie, attended the piano recital for Charlotte's daughter. After his workout, Big is seen heading to the shower when suddenly he clutches his shoulder and collapses, as Carrie states in a voiceover, and just like that, Big died. Peloton spokesperson Denise Kelly confirmed that the company approved King's portrayal of a fictional instructor in the episode. Okay, he had this, apparently he was a big part of the show was him and Peloton, him liking his coach or whatever. So they didn't disclose this. Dr. Steinbaum, who says she is a big Sex and the City fan herself, was saddened to learn Mr. Big's passing, but she elaborated on what likely caused his heart attack in a statement released by Peloton early this morning. Okay, and she said something to the effect that it's a good thing Mr. Big had been exercising. It prolonged his life. What else are you going to say? What do you say? I mean, how do you get ready for something like that? How do you, in the middle of the night, get blindsided by that? Now, I don't think the people, I don't know. I don't take it to mean that the Sex and the City viewers are not, they're probably Peloton users. I don't think they're likely heart attack victims. I think, ladies, you're going to be pretty safe, even with all the Chardonnay, which is horrific. I think these are speculators thinking this is going to scare the market again. That's what the market is about. They're trying to speculate. They're trying to speculate that enough people freak out that this is a giant story today. So bail, get out of Peloton. There he is on his bike in the trailer. Man. One and done.
From the Hot Pie Media Studios in Austin, Texas, it's The Jeff Ward Show. Listen at jeffwardshow.com.